Hey guys, this video is going to be a little different from the other videos that I have on my channel. Today is National Coming Out Day, so I wanted to go ahead in honor of that to share my coming out story. And I hope, it gives you something if you're going through the same thing or if you're thinking of coming out. I hope it gives you some courage too, and just do it when you're ready. So I've always noticed that I've been a bit of a tomboy since I've been little. Not really all that girly. And when I was 7, actually, I wasn't just messing around with my neighbor, who was also a girl. We were just having fun and messing around. So I just thought that was so much fun. Nothing happened though. And then when I was 11, I actually kissed a girl for the first time. So that was pretty interesting. And I was like, oh, okay, this feels nice. Still didn't have any idea what was going on with me. Interesting, right? So then when I was in 9th grade, I guess I had a crush on somebody I went to school with, and I guess at the time I didn't realize that either. But then, I remember giving her a kiss on the cheek one day, and it just felt like so nice. But that was about it, and I used to talk to her all the time. And then when I actually went to college and started my first year, I met somebody who was my first girlfriend, and like we started dating, and that's when I realized like, oh, this feels right, I feel good, and because I've dated boys before, like in high school, and didn't really feel anything, didn't really feel right. It was just like, all right, let's get on with this. Yeah, so it was when I was in college with my first girlfriend that I was like, okay, I think this is going somewhere. And I remember telling one of my best friends about it and saying, like, hey, I'm dating this girl, whatever. And I remember her like freaking out. And I think because of that, because I wasn't sure of who I was yet, that I also freaked out, which is not not good. I freaked out and I ended up breaking up with my first girlfriend at the time, and I felt so bad. I'm like, oh, that's so stupid. I shouldn't do that. So then we ended up talking about it, and then we got back together. And that went on, and just me discovering, in a relationship who I was and who she was, and trying to figure that all out, as that was going on. So then I told one of my other best friends at the time that, hey, I'm dating somebody, and I was really nervous, and I didn't know what she was going to think, because she is very traditional from our culture. So I was like, all right, let me just want to tell her. So I told her, and I said, I'm dating a girl, and I'm really, really happy. And she's like, oh, I'm happy for you. I want you to be happy. And, she just embraced it. She didn't make me feel awkward. It didn't make me feel like I wasn't accepted. So therefore, I felt a lot better about that. And then slowly I started telling, my other friends. And some people were like, oh, I knew. And some people were like, oh, yeah, I still love you, accept you. But then I had a couple of friends who were like, oh, are you sure? Like, is that the lifestyle you want to follow? Or no, I don't think so. And I just, just shrugged it off, because I'm like, all right, I just wanted you to know, no big deal. So in 2009, the first family member that I told was my aunt, because she was the closest family member to me, and we talked about a lot of stuff. So one day I was like, hey, I have something to tell you, and she's like, asking me questions like, did you rob the bank? I was like, no, or stupid things. Just kept asking me questions because I wouldn't say it. And at one point she's like, are you gay? And I was like, oh no, like I just said no. And she just kept asking me other questions, and I'm like, well, fine. I said, my friend at the time, my girlfriend, I was like, well, her and I are dating. So that's pretty much what I said. And she's like, oh, okay, well, I'm not judgmental. I still love you, and you're still the same person. So I was like, oh, okay, yay, somebody's okay and accepts me. So that was really great. And then so everything was okay. And then I went to tell my mom, because I really wanted her to know who I was, and just wanted her to know. So then one night I was talking to her, and I said, Mom, my friend who comes over sometimes and we hang out a lot, like we're dating. I just wanted you to know that. And her reaction was she just looked at me like, what? She just kind of looked at me and then she totally changed the subject. So she didn't want to talk about it. Just changed the subject, and I was like, alrighty. She didn't say anything, so I was like, okay, never mind. We're not gonna talk about this. Yeah, it was just like, alright. So that was that. Came out to my mom, but actually that was back in 2009. So ever since then, it's been a long journey trying to just let her know, like, this is who I am, and I'm happy. So she's come around, and finally, like, we can actually talk now about me, and like, oh hey, I've been talking to people, or I'm dating this person now, or just letting her know. So we're cool now. She accepts me for who I am. So sometimes it takes your parents a little bit longer for them to realize that, okay, whether they know it or not, whether they want to accept it or not, it's gonna take them some time. I just gotta be patient for that. Just as, it takes you time to figure out who you are and accept you, sometimes it takes your parents and other people a little bit of time. So then, oh yeah, so yeah, my mom now, like, I remember talking to her recently, and she says, as long as you are happy, then I'm happy. And I'm like, alright, awesome. So then finally, this year, I finally, told my dad and both my grandma that, I liked girls. I just wanted them to know, and I didn't know how they were going to react, and how that was gonna be, but I was gonna tell them. So then, I was talking to my dad, and I said, hey, I have something to tell you, and I just kind of just told him, and then he kind of just ignored it, didn't say anything about it. So I'm like, all right, well, I told you, so now you know. But my grandma, though, it was really hard to tell my grandma. But I finally said, hey, Grams, I want to tell you something. And I was like, hey, I like girls, not as friends. And she actually said some things that were very discouraging, because I think, I understand that older people have, traditions and the way they see things and the way that things should be. And, she just said some things that, I don't want to be like other people, and, I need to focus on other things, and pretty much, making me feel like it's really not okay. But at that point this year, I just said, I'm gonna tell them whatever they have to say. It's whatever they have to say. So I know that she still loves me, and I understand where she's coming from, and maybe it will take some time, maybe it won't, but at least I was able to tell her who I was. So that I was happy about that. So I'm just telling you, I wasn't even sure if I was going to do this video because I didn't know that I had to or I needed to, but then I just remember hearing a lot about people who, took their lives, or who didn't make it because, they were being bullied, and because they were, they felt that they weren't accepted and they weren't going to make it. And I'm making this to let you know that it's okay. It's going to get better, and everything is going to work out, even though it doesn't seem like it right now. And I am religious. I'm Buddhist, and I used to go to the temple, and even though it wasn't something that was said that it was wrong that you were gay, or that I was never taught in my household that being gay was wrong either. But I used to go to the temple, and I used to feel uncomfortable, and I used to pray to Buddha and just feel like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, maybe this isn't who I'm supposed to be. And really, for a long time, I had a hard time accepting who I was. And I believe sometimes it's hard for everybody. And I never really got bullied in school because you didn't realize for a very long time until who I was. And but I would bring my girlfriend at the time to the temple, and people would look at me and be like, oh, what's going on with her and the other girl, and just giving me looks and making me very uncomfortable. So I did, in a sense, feel uncomfortable about who I was, and it wasn't a good thing. I just wanted to let you know that it gets better, not only with those around you accepting who you are, but with you realizing, who you are and accepting who you are, and being perfectly okay with that, because you are beautiful. You're a wonderful person regardless of who says what. Being gay, being lesbian, being transgender, bisexual, being straight, whatever. You are perfect the way you are. And I also, just wanted to say that you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that it's gonna get better, because this is your life and you have to live it. And if there's something that keeps you holding on, then hold on to that. If it's music, if it's sports, or if it's other activities that you do, anything that helps you feel better. If you need to watch videos of people coming out, if you need to watch lesbian shows or gay shows or just movies, anything inspirational. I know that music has gotten me through pretty much everything, so I hold on to that and I just keep it with me. And I just want you to know that it's going to get better. It's going to be okay. Nobody is going to care. And you are here for a reason, and you are going to make a difference in this world. And you first have to realize that, it's okay to be you. You have to love yourself. And that's really all that you can do. So, if you want to talk, if you want advice, if I'll be here. And I just want you to know, it gets so much better. This year I met somebody new, and we've been dating, and she's my current girlfriend, and I'm happy. And so I hope you guys all feel the same when you meet the right people. Oh, yes, I almost forgot. I don't say this very often, but I am gay. So, yeah, for anybody who didn't know that, I'm sure a lot of people know it already, even though I didn't know it, but now I do. And I'm happy with it, I'm proud of it, and you should be too. And happy National Coming Out Day.